So let's head on over here to the board, and we're going to talk about some of the top 5 trades of all time. And not in any, this is mine. There's been a million trades of all time that have been very, very impactful. But these, to me, are ones that stick out. So let's start here at number 5, and I have the Miggy and Dontrelle Willis trade, but predominantly the Miguel Cabrera trade to the Detroit Tigers. This happened it was with the Marlins at the time, the Florida Marlins. And look, not a lot of great pieces. The pieces that went back to the Marlins, none of them played there for more than 4 years. Andrew Miller went back, Cameron Maybin. My former minor league manager, Mike Rabello, was also in this trade. But Miguel Cabrera turned himself from the great all-star player into the Hall of Fame player that he is today with the Detroit Tigers. He's been there since that trade. He will be there for the rest of his career, in my opinion, and he will go into the Hall of Fame as a Detroit Tigers player. Moving on to number 4, Justin Verlander to the Houston Astros. This one is one of the biggest of all time. One, because it happened in 2017. Let me run this back. 2017, there's multiple teams in on Justin. The Dodgers were one of them. The Cubs were one of them. The Astros were one of them. The Dodgers decided to go in a different direction. They decided to go get Yu Darvish, give up a little bit less to get Yu Darvish. In hindsight, Justin goes to the Astros. The Astros beat Yu Darvish twice in the World Series. They end up winning the World Series. Justin has been a massive part of the success in Houston since he got traded. Since Justin was traded from the Tigers to the Astros, this isn't even talking about the return that the Tigers got of Daz Cameron and Jake Rogers and a pitcher that hasn't pitched in the big leagues yet. There has been no success on the return from this Justin trade. But since Justin has been in Houston, his record is 56-18. He's 56-18 in his time with the Astros. A 2.5 ERA of 56-18 is the best winning percentage and best ERA in Astros history. That's what this would be. Those are the numbers he's putting up. Those would be the best numbers in history. It is really impressive what Justin has done in Houston, and the return for the Tigers, it just sent the two franchises in opposite directions. That's why this one is here on the list. At number 3, Randy Johnson from the Expos to the Mariners. Randy Johnson turned his career into the Hall of Fame career it is with the Mariners. He was there for 10 years. The return the Expos got was not good. The pitcher they got was there for 1 year. Randy Johnson ends up being in Seattle for 10 years. Dominant, wins a Cy Young Award there, gets the team to the ALCS. This trade speaks for itself. Randy Johnson became Randy Johnson. He was good. He was always good. But when many people think of him, when I think of Randy Johnson, I think Mariners. Mariners, Diamondbacks come to mind, but I go Mariners. And this trade is the reason why he ended up there. At number 2, John Smoltz to the Atlanta Braves. John Smoltz was drafted by his favorite team. He grew up in the state of Michigan. He grew up a Tigers fan. He was drafted by the Detroit Tigers, but he was traded before he even became the John Smoltz that we know for a pitcher named Doyle Alexander. Now, Doyle Alexander was good in a very short period of time for the Tigers, but he's no John Smoltz. John Smoltz went on to be incredible for the Atlanta Braves. Win a World Series there, become a Hall of Famer, a million All-Star games. John Smoltz is here at number 2. The number 1 biggest trade, in my opinion, of all time, Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees. Babe Ruth was a Red Sox. He was a Boston Red Sox player. He was traded to the Yankees for $100,000. $100,000. At the time, that was equivalent of $1.4 million. Still nothing crazy. Babe Ruth went on to be one of the greatest of all time. Many consider him to be the greatest of all time. He changed baseball. He became the first real home run hitter in the game of baseball. He is Babe Ruth. He's this immortal legend. He almost seems like a fictional character. But he's not fictional. And he was traded by the Red Sox to the Yankees. And the Red Sox would go on to not win a World Series until 2004. The curse of the Bambino. The two franchises would end up going in opposite directions. The Yankees at the time weren't the big bad New York Yankees that we all know now. Babe Ruth is a massive reason for that. And he was traded from the Boston Red Sox to the Yankees for $100,000. That rounds out my top 5. Miguel Cabrera to the Tigers, Justin Verlander to the Astros, Randy Johnson to the Mariners, John Smoltz to the Braves, and Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.